getting new ideas, developing new ways of human relations, and thus building up this great nation, which was asleep up to 100 years ago. And Vivekananda is the first awakener of this giant of a nation. Today's subject, Swamiji announced just now, the message of the Upanishads. When I speak on Upanishads in the Western countries, the tremendous reception, because they are so rational. They have never been allowed to question whatever religion says. Just accept. But in the Upanishads, when you expound, you can ask any number of questions. The more you question, the better. That is a wonderful experience of the Western people. Something new. For 2000 years they have not seen it at all. We in India developed in the Upanishads a very scientific study of the human being in depth, the depth dimension of the human being. Swami Vivekananda was very, very particular that in this modern age, our people must establish a new society based on the insights of the Upanishads and the Gita. We do not know the Upanishads. We were not allowed to know also. It was Shankaracharya who first brought these Upanishads from obscurity by writing his famous commentaries and placing it before the people. Even then, it was confined to sannyasins all these hundreds of years. We never built our society on the basis of the Upanishads or the Gita. We built it on other ideas which are not very, very great, where there is inequality between human beings. That kind of philosophy developed our society. On the one side is the great Upanishads, speaking highly about the human being. On the other side is our society, where millions of human beings are treated worse than animals. This contradiction was brought before us by Swami Vivekananda. In his lectures from Colombo to Almora, especially the 5 lectures delivered in Madras, 1897, you find this presentation of Vedanta as the solution of our social problems, many, many social problems, and lifting the status of both women and the common people. Upanishads alone contain that profound philosophy of human development and fulfillment, because we never knew what these Upanishads are. According to most people in India, Vedanta means what I cannot understand. That is called Vedanta. Vedanta, you are telling some Vedanta means you cannot understand, nobody can understand. That is called Vedanta. That was the way it was presented by even sadhus of the old tradition. One Swamiji told me he attended a meeting of nearly 5,000 people in Delhi, where a great Mandaleshwar Swami was speaking on Vedanta. He was speaking on from Brahman came Akasha, from Akasha came Vayu, from Vayu came Agni, like that. And people are very pious, very devoted, especially Punjabi women, very devoted to these ideas. They heard everything, meeting was over. When they were coming out, this Swamiji asked one of these ladies, Mataji, kya sune? What did you hear? Maharaj, what did he say? Oh, badi Vedant ki baatein sune. I heard big Vedantic words. But what did he say? Hum log, mai log hai, kya samjhenge? We are women, what we can understand. So what I cannot understand is Vedanta. That was the impression till now. That is changing. Today, these Upanishads are bringing inspiration to millions of people here and the world outside. So many translations, so many new interpretations you will find coming out. And a man like Schopenhauer of Germany, 130-40 years ago, he got a few pages of the Upanishad's translation from Persian to Latin. It was done by Dara Shukro, Aurangzeb's brother. And that Latin translation he got. A few pages only. He read it. He was full of praise. And he said, in this world, there is no study as great as the study of the Upanishads. They have been the solace of my life. They shall be the solace of my death. Schopenhauer is not an emotional man, very dry intellectual. But this Upanishad created that feeling in him, something wonderful it is. So today, what you find in the world is searching for a philosophy which will be rational, practical, and make for total human development. A comprehensive spirituality, not a sectarian religion, not a sectarian dogma. We have plenty of them for years and centuries. Today that is not what the world seeks. That is why Vedanta appeals to people. And Shankaracharya is responsible to bring out the meaning of this great literature in his commentary. Even then, we shall find it difficult to understand directly Shankara's philosophy. Ramanuja and others also have written, not directly, indirectly, on the message of the Upanishads. We approached it in a sectarian way. Today, Swamy Vivekananda gives you a non-sectarian exposition of this great Vedanta in simple English language, now translated into many of our languages. In that book, Lectures from Colombo to Almora, of which 5 important lectures were delivered here in Madras, 1897. 1997 going to be the century of these lectures. We proposed to have a big celebration at that time when nation became awakened by Swamiji by presenting Vedanta in a practical form. It had been presented in a practical form earlier by that great teacher, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, in the Gita. The Gita is the best textbook of practical Vedanta according to Swamy Vivekananda himself. It contains a comprehensive philosophy. Action and meditation going together. Not an otherworldly attitude or lazy attitude, not at all. That is what the Gita teaches. And we had the Gita with us. Some people could read it, but our Smritis prohibited women from touching any of these books. That means half the population were prohibited from benefiting from this rational spirituality of the Upanishads and Vedanta. And so a lot of superstitions came in, fear came in, hesitation came in, want of faith in oneself came in, and you can see India of the past few centuries of that nature. Out of that depressive state, Swamiji awakened this nation through his, what you call in Sanskrit, the Garjana of Vedanta Kesari. it is in Sanskrit it is given. All the various philosophies will howl like jackals in the forest till the lion of Vedanta begins to roar. Then they all become silent. That is the strength of Vedanta. It alone can withstand the shocks of modern science. That is why this evening I want to convey to you that scientific character of this great literature. They were all scientists, but scientists of a different field of human experience, namely the inner field. There are two fields of experience, external, internal. Modern science started with understanding this external world, the world revealed by the five senses. So we developed physics, chemistry, then botany, zoology, all sorts of sciences. They have gone very high in all these directions. But the West doesn't know anything about the inner side, the subject, the knower, the self, what lies above the sensory level. That is an unknown quantity for Western science, and many scientists have admitted we have not tackled this subject. On the contrary, if you want to be a good physical scientist, you must be detached from your own self. Then only you can be objective, as they call it, objectivity. But today, with nuclear science developing in a big way, the whole concept of science is getting changed. That in nuclear physics, you have one situation where the principle of indeterminacy, discovered by Heisenberg, tells you that you cannot understand the activity of a proton or of an electron without knowing two aspects, its position and its velocity. But nature is such, if you know one precisely, you will never know the other. That's called the principle of uncertainty. And by saying this, another scientist also says that by the very act of observation, you change the phenomena in front of you. That means the observer is a participant in the physical phenomena. The word participant was coined by another nuclear scientist. We are not mere observer, we are participant in the physical process. So physical science is coming to understand that this external world revealed by the senses is not the whole of reality. There is another vast dimension of reality, the dimension of the observer. Man as the thinker, the observer, the self. What is that? We don't know anything. But in biology, this subject has become very important today. Nuclear physics suggests it, but in biology it has become insistent. When you deal with evolution, as Sir Julian Huxley has done in his very important book, Evolution, the New Synthesis, he told me in his correspondence that he considers this book as his best book. In that you will find evolution up to the human stage is physical. You can deal with this as an object. But as soon as you come to the human stage, you cannot give up the idea of the self of the human being, the subject, man the subject, man the knower, man the self. There is an inner life. Therefore we need values to guide evolution. And values do not come from physical nature. They do not know where from it comes, but they say we want values. The science of values is a big subject today, all over the world. If the human being is not guided by proper values, he or she can destroy this nature, because he or she has tremendous energy, tremendous power. A new focus has come within, focus of the self, by which he can alter the universe, which no animal has ever done. In this way, Biology demands that you must know how to generate values. It is there you come to Vedanta directly from biology. What are the source of values? They do not give us any answer. It is not nature. It is not this human body, this genetic system. It cannot give any values. In fact, there is a book written by a British biologist, Richard Dawkins, recently, about 10-15 years ago, and the title is very interesting, The Selfish Gene. This genetic system is essentially selfish. If you depend upon it, you can't get any values at all. What a wonderful statement. We have been telling it ages ago. Dehatma buddhi should go. I am the deha. I am the body. That should go. Then only you can grow spiritually. We are told that ages ago. But one more remark of Julian Huxley is something remarkable. He says, until the mammal in us die, the man in us cannot grow. See the language. The mammal in us must die. The animal that is in us must die. Then only man can grow. In all our religious lectures we mention this particular fact. This Pashubhava should go. So biology is slowly coming in this direction. But as I said, what is the source of values? There is no answer. You must instruct people. Teach children values, says Richard Dawkins. But where from does it come? There is no answer. Only answer comes from Vedanta. That is the greatness of what India achieved 4,000 years ago in the Upanishads, that in the depth dimension of this human being, there is a profound divine reality. They called it the Atman, the pure self, which is ever pure, ever free, ever awakened. Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Swabhava, Paramatman. Shankaracharya uses that expression in his Sutra Bhashya. This Atman is ever free, ever pure. And this Atman is one in all. Differences are only from the body. Atman is no different. There is no division in the Atman. Avibhaktam, vibhakteshu. It is avibhaktam. It cannot be divided. Just like space cannot be divided. Yes, the Atman is like that. So this wonderful discovery, the Upanishads had made over nearly 4,000 years ago. It's most scientifically. Nothing to believe. Realize the truth for yourself. Today, Swamy Vivekananda places the greatest emphasis on the central truth of the Upanishads, that every human being is essentially divine within. He must manifest that divinity even a little, then values will come automatically. It is all in our power. Manifest the divine within. What a beautiful conception. And that is how he defines religion itself. Religion is the manifestation of the divinity already in man, is a sentence in Vivekananda literature. We never understood it that way. Religion means going to temple, ring the bell 20 times, pay some money to a priest, and we come back. Our religion is over. Have you manifested your divine nature? What a change of character will come. There is such a thing as spiritual growth, spiritual expansion, vikasam, atma vikasa. We are contracted, we have to expand. Then only we can find a place for others. Then only values can come. Love, compassion, service, all these will come when we expand. This beautiful idea, which the Upanishads gave at that time, is so relevant today all over the world. And when they hear it in the West, they are simply surprised, astonished, and very joyous. I was speaking in Moscow State University. I referred to this teaching of divinity, every human being. Among the questions asked was one by a professor. Swamiji, you said there is a divine spark in every human being. It's a wonderful idea. I would like to know more about it. He said, a German youth, about 20 years old, when I was speaking in Berlin, public meeting in Berlin, he also said the same thing. You spoke about a divine spark. We have never heard about it at all. But it is a fascinating subject. We want to know more about it. Now this is what Vivekananda inaugurated in the West, taking the wisdom of the sages of this country to that great, strong country like America. Addressing the Chicago audience, he quoted two shlokas, or parts of two shlokas from the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, which created such a tremendous impact upon the audience. Shrinnvantu vishve amritasya putraha aye dhamani divyani tastuhu vedahametam purusham mahantam adityavarnam tamasapparastat tameva viditva adimrutyumeti nanya pantha vidyate ayanaya. Hear me, O ye children of immortality. You are all children of immortality. Amritasya putraha. Even the angels or gods in heaven, let them also listen. I have a message for them, says the sage, after realizing this truth. What is that message? Is it taken from books or hearsay? No. Vedahametam. I know it. I have realized it. What? Purusham Mahanta. The infinite man behind this finite man. As the ego, we are a finite individual. But as the Atman, we are infinite. Purusham Mahantam. The word Mahantam is Mahatma. Mahantam means great, expansive, infinite. That person you are. Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam. Adityavarnam, glorious like the sun. Tamasapparastat, beyond all darkness and delusion. Having said this, like a true scientist, he did not say, you believe me and you will be saved. He did not say so. You realize it for yourself. Check up for yourself. Test for yourself. So he said, Tameva viditva adimrutyumeti nanya pantha vidyate ayanaya. By realizing this truth alone, you can transcend death and delusion. There is no other way. There is no other way. This truth must be realized. Now this is a profound contribution of this great country of ours for all humanity in all parts of the world. But it was in forests, it was in monasteries, in caves, never came out in the open. 1,000 years after the Upanishads, Buddha re-experimented and realized this great truth. He became enlightened. He became Buddha. He got Bodhi. Then comes Shankaracharya. He brought it out and placed it, and now Swami Vivekananda throws it open to all people. And he says, our society does not bear the touch of Vedanta or the Upanishads or the Gita. It bears the touch of many, many other books like Smritis, which are full of inequality, which are full of oppression of ordinary people. That dignity of the human being is not fully realized in any one of them. So our society went down and down and down. And all this poverty and backwardness we are trying to avoid today is the result of Swami Vivekananda's presentation of the glorious philosophy and spirituality of the Gita and the Upanishads in the modern period. How many places he has said this, that build a new Indian society based upon freedom of the individual, equality between man and man, man and woman, and similarly the dignity of the human personality. All this comes from that one single truth, the Atman, the divine spark in every human being. We all look like animals, but we need not remain animals. Nature has given us the organic capacity to acquire knowledge, both external and internal. No animal has this capacity. Their knowledge is already imprinted in the genetic system, and that is done in an automatic way. But this human being is unique in more ways than one, says Sir Julian Huxley. We can handle this world. We can change it. We can understand it. We can understand ourselves also, says Vedanta. Till now, the West never understood the second part, to understand ourselves. To them, understanding oneself means physiology, anatomy, a little neurology, and now a little psychiatry. A troublesome mind. They deal only with troublesome minds, never healthy minds. Therefore, the Western knowledge of the inner man is limited to that direction. Now goes Vedanta to the West, and there's a big change in psychology and psychiatry in the West. With the help of Vedanta and Yoga, a deepening of understanding of human nature. So we need this great truth today in our country. We have to capture value system in our public and private life. Absolutely eroded all the values. We can cheat people, bribe, be corrupt, everything from top to bottom. Politics, administration, even private life, we cannot trust each other. Constantly fighting with each other, going to court. I have not seen any country like ours where people go to courts all the time. They can't settle by talking with each other. So many cases are waiting. All this will change when the stress is laid on the human being and the tremendous possibilities of this human being. That's Sir Julian Huxley in his Chicago speech, university speech, when they were celebrating Darwin's centenary in 1959. The whole proceedings come to you in 3 volumes, Evolution after Darwin. In that, he gave a speech, The Evolutionary Vision. There he says, we have many sciences, but we want one more science, very important new science, and he calls it the science of human possibilities. What are the possibilities hidden in every human being? Part of it has been given to us through modern science. But the most important part, modern science doesn't know, that we can realize our own infinite nature, divine nature, feel our oneness with all people. That knowledge they do not know. That they want to know. Many scientists say we want to know. Knowledge and study of the mind has only just begun, says Huxley in that lecture. We have to carry further. It is in this field India scored tremendous victories nearly 4,000 years ago. Study of man in depth. Let us do that. Here, Max Muller was a great student of the Vedas and translated the Rig Veda into English. He has mentioned in his lectures on Vedanta philosophy one single truth, and that is, if the Western people think how could India achieve so much of knowledge of the inner nature of the human being compared to we in the West, the Greeks, the Romans, Middle Ages, and modern Europeans and Americans, we know very little of this. If that is so, what is the reason? Max Muller answers, however much telescope for observing the stars have been developed, the telescopes of the soul have remained the same in the West. They have not developed that telescope of the soul. That is what the sages did. The telescope to understand what is behind the sensory system. It is very difficult, but it is a challenging problem, and our people took up the challenge. This subject comes in one single verse in the Kathopanishad, first verse, chapter 4. It's a wonderful verse. You can see the scientific spirit, the pioneering spirit of our sages in that one shloka. Paranchi khani vedranat swayambhuhu tasmat parang pashyati nantaratman kaschid dhiraha pratyagatmanam aikshat avrta chakshuhu amrtatvam ichchanya. A simple shloka, but what profound meaning, what scientific spirit you find involved in this verse. Says, Paranchi khani. Khani means sense organs. They are always outgoing in their disposition. You can see things outside, things outside, things outside. Paranchi khani vedranat swayambhuhu. When the Creator created this human system, He created the sense organs with an outgoing disposition. Therefore, they cannot see the inner self. The senses can never see what is inside, only outside. Paranji khani. Vedranat, it was, Vedranat means a certain defect was instilled in the sense organ. See outside, see outside. We can see, for example, when you see a football play, you can see how the man is tackling the ball. You may be able to see the correct way. He himself may not know, but you can see. Outside things you can always see well. Or as Shakuntala said to Dushyanta in the Kalidasa's Shakuntalam, when Dushyanta abused her, "You are a wretched woman, telling lies that I married you," and all that. At that time, Shakuntala uttered a wonderful verse according to our Kalidasa. Rajan, there's hundreds of mistakes you can see in other people. Even though they are as small as a mustard seed, sarshvamatrani parachidrani pashyasi. You are seeing others' faults, even as small as a mustard seed, easily. But atmano villamatrani pashyannapi na pashyasi. But your own fault, as big as a willow of fruit, even though you see, you fail to recognize it. That's the language used there. The sense organs, always going outward, have this tendency. This is natural. Animals have it, human beings have it. But a human being is unique. He has unique possibilities. Therefore, this shloka next says, Tasmat parang pashyati na antaratman. Therefore, we see things parak, means outside. When you point the finger out, you call it parak. When you point the finger like this, pratyak, two technical terms in Vedanta. Parak, pratyak. See what a beautiful conception. You show the finger out as an object, your finger in, subject. You cannot understand the subject. You can understand only the object. Tasmat parang pashyati na antaratman, not the inner self. You can't see yourself. You can't experience your own self normally. But will it remain always like this? One person took up this challenge. He was a pioneer in this field. Who did it? We do not know. Many things in science, we do not know who discovered. Who discovered the wheel? How much it has revolutionized movement in society. This wheel, the use of fire, all these are unknown discoverers. Here also, therefore, the next line says, Kaschit dhiraha, a certain dhira. Dhira means courageous and intelligent. Mere courage is not enough. Intelligence is needed. Intelligence alone is not enough. Courage is needed. Combine two, then you get the finest human being. Kaschit dhiraha, pratyagatmanam aikshat. He realized the pratyagatman. Pratyak means inside, inner self. Pratyagatman, parak and pratyak. Pratyagatman he realized. How? By one technique. One simple word conveys that technique. Avrta chakshuhu. The energies of the sense organs he mobilized and gave a right about turn inward. What a wonderful idea. Avarta chakshuhu. Avarta means right about turn. Chakshu is symbolic of all sense organs. Eye means all the sense organs. All this sensory energy which we use in day-to-day life, he just trained these sensory energies to be turned, given a right about turn within. And to his great joy and surprise, he realized the infinite Atman, Avarta Chakshuhu, Amrtatva Michanna. He wanted to know, is there anything immortal in this world of mortality? Everything is changing. The senses reveal a changeful universe. Senses cannot reveal anything that is changeless. Everything is subject to death. Death is the same word as change. Final change is called death. If everything is subject to death, is there anything which is beyond death, which is immortal? That is the search in the Upanishads. The world of change, the world that does not change, which is God, Brahman, Atman. These words are used, and Shankara says, don't be carried away by words. Words do not mean much, but some word has to be used, therefore we use it as language. So, Pratyeka Atmanam Aikshat. He realized the Pratyeka Atman by Avarta Chakshuhu, by turning the energies of the senses and the mind inward. Amrtatvam Icchanna, to achieve immortality. I desire immortality. Now, here is the statement in the Upanishads. The first person who took up this challenge and realized the truth hidden within all of us, the infinite self, immortal, one with all. How did he do it? Avarta Chakshu. In his commentary, Shankaracharya uses a modern example, though he lived in the 8th or 9th century AD. As in the world, we turn the course of a river, an east-flowing river, we turn to the westward. Similarly, this great man turned the energies going outward, inward. See the language. Just like what we do in technology today. A river is flowing this way, let us put it this way. Tamil Nadu is asking Kerala, turn the river this side a little. We are asking this. Here is the great river of energy, our psychic energy, a fund of psychic energy, always going out all the time. Let us bring it in. Today, all over the world, people have started meditating, especially in a country like America. 50 to 60 years ago, nobody will meditate. If anybody meditates, he will be sent to a psychiatrist. Something is wrong with him. Today, even millionaires sit in meditation. Those who meditate today anywhere in the world are indebted to that one pioneer, Kaschit Dhiraha of the Kathopanishad. He is the pioneer. He started on a road, difficult to tread, hard to cross, but he did it with tremendous courage and conviction, and great was his joy. People are prepared to die if they are going to get very valuable things. In American history, in the last century, they discovered gold in the Middle America and Western America. America existed only in the eastern coast at that time. People started going to catch gold. Many people died. Many people suffered. Doesn't matter. We will get gold. So when the object in view is so valuable, you don't care what happens to your body or anything. Similarly, when people realize that this infinite divine self in man is unequaled in value, the value of all values, the source of all values, we shall certainly go in to discover that truth. Modern West will experience this great change in the coming decades. They are already in search of it, but probing. Now it will become a revolution later on. In India, we had this great teacher who discovered this truth. He was not telling something like an opinion. The difference between truth and opinion In Sanskrit we call it Satyam, and the other is Matam. Matam is an opinion. Tattvam and Satyam mean truth. That means truth is equal for all. It is true for you, true for me, true for all. Fire is hot. That is truth for all. It is not an opinion. But there is place for opinion also. We call it, suppose you fast on a Monday. The mother fasts on a Monday. The daughter will fast on a Tuesday. It is up to you, your opinion. There is no eternal truth about it. So these two distinctions, Matam, Tattvam. Tattvam is truth. Science seeks truth. So also Vedanta seeks truth. Tattvam, Tattvam. What a beautiful conception. Shankaracharya defines these two, Tattvam and Matam, in the Sutra Bhashya introduction, in the beginning itself. Brahmajnanam, Vastutantrajnanam is the language. Knowledge of Brahman is knowledge of an existing truth, not an opinion. Brahmajnanam, Vastutantrajnanam. Kartum, agartum, anyatha kartum, na shakyate. You can't change it, you can't alter it, you must recognize the truth as it is. That's the nature of truth. The other is called Purusha Tantra Jnana, based upon the preferences of a particular Purusha or individual. Table is full of food, spread it out. You go and take what suits you. That is your matam, that is your preference. That's called Vastu Tantra Jnana. The other is Purusha Tantra Jnana. Main thing is Vastu Tantra Jnana. So this you can alter, that you cannot alter. So this great pioneer discovered this truth. Following him, many others discovered. All the Upanishads discuss this subject. This investigation at what lies beyond the sensory level. Every Upanishad deals with this. Take the Kena Upanishad. Says, what is the strength behind the eye, behind the ear, behind the mind, behind the prana? And the Upanishad will say that is the Atman, or energy comes from there. That is answered in various ways. There are so many episodes in the Upanishads dealing with the subject. One such episode I would like to convey to you today. There is time, only a few minutes because we've got Arati there. In the Chandogya Upanishad, there are about 10 or 12 important Upanishads. 10 definitely important, on which Shankaracharya has written commentary. And they are most authoritative, they are very, very ancient, and they are available in all the languages today. In the Chandogya Upanishad, you find one story. In the 7th chapter, Narada was a student at that time, not a Narada of the Puranas, who is a singer, inspiring devotees here and there. That is the second Narada. This Narada was a student at that time. He goes to the teacher, Sanat Kumara. Sanat Kumara was a great knower of Brahman at that time. In fact, that Sanat Kumara is what you call Muruga in Tamil Nadu. He is the Subramanya, Muruga, these are the words. And it will come in the Upanishad itself, Skanda. He is called Skanda. We'll say like that. So he goes to Sanat Kumara and says, Adhihi Bhagava iti, please teach me, O great master. He said. Teacher said, tell me what you know already, and if there is still something more, and if I know it, I shall communicate to you. So Narada started telling, I know this, I know that. Rigvedam, Bhagavo Adhyayami, Yajurvedam, Samavedam, etc., and astronomy and military science, so many things is mentioned there, a bunch of knowledge. And in spite of all this knowledge, Tadaham Bhagavasyochami, I am in grief, I am peaceless, I have no sense of satisfaction. Tadaham Bhagavasyochami, Shokasya Param Tarayatu, please take me across the ocean of sorrow. This great teacher listens to everything, and tells Narada, what all you have studied is mere words, words, words. The essence, the truth you have not caught. Only the passing things you study or some creature comforts you get, that's all what you have done. I shall take you step by step to that great realization. That sentence of Narada, Tadaham Bhagavad Shavachami, I am full of sorrow in spite of so much of knowledge. In fact, the more you know, the more you get sorrow. The ignorant man has no sorrow at all. They don't have nervous breakdown. Only knowing people have nervous breakdown. You can see all over the world. Bertrand Russell, in our own time, refers exactly to this truth when he says, unless men and women increase in wisdom as much as in knowledge, increase of knowledge shall be increase of sorrow. The more you know, the more sorrow will come. That knowledge must be complemented by this knowledge, your own true nature, the infinite Atman, ever pure, ever free, that must be there. So Narada is taken step by step on this path of spiritual development, that inward looking, inward search to realize the Atman. And in the end, Narada realized this profound truth, and he was very happy, and he thanked his Guru, Sanat Kumara. Tasmai mridita kashayaya tamasasparam darshayati Bhagavan Sanat Kumaraha. In the last part of the chapter, this sentence comes. To that Narada was full of sorrow, who has been trained now in developing this spiritual awareness. Sanat Kumara took him across the ocean of sorrow, ocean of darkness, to the world of light, the world of illumination. That is the language. Tasmai mridita kashayaya. When all the evils of the mind were wiped away, mridita kashayaya. Kashaya is the evils. Mridita means washed away, removed. When the mind became pure, tamasasparam darshayati Bhagavan Sanat Kumaraha. Sanat Kumara shows him this is the great place of enlightenment, illumination. You have achieved it, O Narada. Tam skanda ityajakshate. That is how the chapter ends. He is called Skanda. This Sanat Kumara is Skanda. And this is repeated twice to show the end of the chapter. The story of Narada. Later on he became a great devotee, Jnani and Bhakta combined, helped numerous souls, and even today he is a great inspiration for devotees all over the nation. Dhruva he helped to meditate in the forest. This is the 7th chapter. Chandogya, 6th chapter, contains one wonderful story and a profound truth uttered in a small formula, just like any formula in physics today, like Einstein's formula for power, energy within an atomic nucleus, E equals mc squared. Mass times the square of speed of light is the energy in every piece of matter. Similarly, this Upanishad, the father is found teaching his son Shvetaketu. And there he says, Aidadatmamidam sarvam tat satyam sa atma tattvamasi Shvetaketu. Tattvamasi is a great utterance of the Chandogya Upanishad. You are that. You are that. You are not this tiny little thing. You are not this petty ego. You are not this mere body. You are that infinite one. That Purusham Mahantam, as the Shvetashvatara sage had said, you are that. You are that. Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi is a profound utterance. And we understood it. Our teachers understood it. They called it one of the 4 Mahavakyas. Great utterances. Aham Brahmasmi is Mahavakya. Tattvamasi Mahavakya. I am Atma Brahma. This Atman is Brahman. These are all 4 or 5 Mahavakyas are there. So this is one such profound Mahavakya which is inspiring nuclear scientists and biologists in the West today. 2 of them have referred to this, Schrödinger in his book, mentions this as a great truth. Tat-tvamasi, tat-tvamasi. Similarly, another biologist, tat-tvamasi, you are that, you are that. So, this great Upanishadic literature, coming from very ancient times, sustained India throughout the ages by giving us the touch of the immortal. By the Upanishads touching the immortal, the culture of India also became immortal. We call it Amar Bharat. This Bharat is Amar. A fraction of the sufferings of India can destroy any nation, have destroyed also many nations. But we have suffered centuries. We are still alive, strong. What is the reason? The Upanishads. They contain a profound spiritual truth. They touch the immortal, and that immortal made the culture and the country immortal. That Amar Bharat is what was awakened by Swamy Vivekananda in this sickly state of our society 100 years ago, and we are still going in that direction. He wanted that our people must study the Upanishads and the Gita and develop a Vedantic society in our country. Our constitution contains many provisions, just like what the Upanishads want it to contain. Quality, freedom, these are all in the Upanishads. Freedom is the word we use as the goal of human evolution. And so, Swamiji wanted, and one lecture in Madras among the 5 is titled Vedanta and its application to Indian life. 4 lectures on practical Vedanta he delivered in London. These are the only things. All the rest will come in letters as well as in these Colombo to Almora lectures in various forms, but always stress this Vedantic idea of the innate divinity of every human being, respecting every human being, become friendly with each other. Today the international community wants to come closer to each other. Physically we have come closer, but spiritually we are not close yet. So much of distance between a human being and another human being. That innate unity will come when this philosophy inspires modern human beings both in East and West. So far as India is concerned, this Vedanta is the remedy for all our maladies from which we are suffering. A little divine spark within, a little this manifestation. What love will come from the heart? What compassion? What spirit of service? What can I do for you? Till now we exploited each other. Women were exploited by men. Upper classes exploited lower classes. That was India of the last few centuries. That made for foreign invasions again and again. We never realized the dignity of this human being. But today, with the touch of this philosophy, we shall transform the whole situation. That's the importance of this recent celebration we had. Chicago, Swamiji Vivekananda Chicago Address Centenary. Last year it began, this year it concluded just now. And now it will come 1897 to 1997. Swamiji's Madras speeches, wonderful speeches they are. My plan of campaign, Vedanta and its application to Indian life, the work before us, the sages of India, and the future of India. These are the subjects of his Madras lectures. Here all this you will find. I am quoting Vivekananda. I preach nothing but the Upanishads. And in the Upanishads, that one great virtue, fearlessness, fearlessness, abhayam, abhayam. Only Indian religious literature contains this idea of fearlessness. No fear of God, no fear of man. Fearlessness alone is virtue. Fear is no virtue at all. So you can't make a man moral through fear. Fear only will make you more immoral. Fear is a sin, as Vivekananda said. And the Upanishads speak of abhayam. When Yajnavalkya taught Janaka in the Pradarnika Upanishad, Janaka realized this truth. Yajnavalkya said, Janaka, you have attained the state of fearlessness. Abhayam vai praptosi janakaha. You have attained a state of fearlessness. And our people need this message very much because we were full of fear. I have seen in our villages, in our houses, in our even cities, our people are full of fear. Fear of this, fear of that, fear of a ghost, fear of a devil, fear of Saturn, fear of this planet, that planet. Always fear, fear, fear. That will go. All this fear will disappear. The knowledge of the Atman comes. Atmana vindate viryam, says the Kena Upanishad. Through the Atman you can achieve tremendous energy. Atmana vindate viryam, vidya vindate amritam. Through vidya you achieve the immortal dimension. This is the message of the Upanishads for all humanity. At that time there were no particular religions, particular people. They spoke of the human being, wherever he may be or she may be. And that is the message you get. And we called it, not by a particular name, Sanatana Dharma, eternal Dharma. And what Buddha preached was also Sanatana Dharma. You take the Dharmapada containing Buddha's teachings, just like the Gita. There is one chapter, every sloka ends, Esha Dhamma Sanatana, Esha Dhamma Sanatana. This is the Dharma, which is Sanatana Dharma. Buddha only spoke of Sanatana Dharma. Today we are dealing with that Sanatana Dharma. Recently when people spoke of Sanatana Dharma in Punjab and all that, they believed all the orthodoxies which we have, untouchability, this, that, all that is part of Sanatana Dharma, they thought. What can there be Sanatana Dharma? These are all Yuga Dharma. These are all Deshachara, Lokachara, that is all. There is no Dharma there. Sanatana Dharma is the same Atman in you. Samadrishti, Gita calls it. Samam Pashyan hi sarvatra, samavasthitam Ishwaram. Nenasti Atman Atmanam, tato yati param gatim. Seeing the same Atman in every being, you don't ensure the self by the self. You go to the highest goal. That Samadrishti is the essence of Sanatana Dharma. We are trying to practice it in our democracy. The very act of democracy today is a great inspiration to apply Vedanta, for Vedanta alone can explain this democracy. So many differences between us, yet there is a unity behind these differences. Unity in diversity, as we call it. We built a culture based on this concept. And therefore, Swamy Vivekananda stands as the great awakener of our nation to the immortal heritage of ours, the Upanishads and the Gita. These are the two we have to study. But to understand them is difficult in spite of all our intellect. But if you study Vivekananda literature, then turn to the Upanishads, you find it easy to understand. Because he has expounded them in many of his lectures. Jnana Yoga lecture, that book contains 2 lectures on Kathopanishad. That Upanishad is famous, wherefrom he took that great utterance, Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyaparan, Nibodhata. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. He gave a free translation. Now all these great Upanishads we can understand better by reading Vivekananda literature. They give us the key to open the secrets of this vast literature. I am very happy to be with all of you for one evening.
Yeah. भञ्जनः प्रभु तुम्हि तम भञ्जनः नमो नमो प्रभु वाक्यमनादित नमो नमो प्रभु वाक्यमनादित मनोवचनैकाधार प्रभु मनोवचनैकाधार ज्योतिर्ज्योतिमुज्ज्वल हृदिकन्दर ज्योतिर्ज्योतिमुज्ज्वल हृदिकन्दर तुम्हि तम भञ्जनहार प्रभु तुम्हि तम भञ्जनहार दिव्यलङ्करङ्गभङ्गभागे दिव्यलङ्करङ्गभङ्गभागे चंद भगत वृंद आरती तुमार चंद भगत वृंद आरती तुमार जय जय आरती तुमार हर हर आरती तुमार शिव शिव आरती तुमार चलो गुणजित् गुणेभ्यः नक्तं दिवं सकरुणं तव पादपद्मं मोहं कषं बहुकृतं न भजे यतोऽहं तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो भक्तिर्भवश्च भजनं भवभेदकाले गच्छन्त्यलं सुविपुलं गमनाय तत्त्वं वक्रोद्धृतोऽपि हृदये न च भाति किञ्चित् तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो तेजस्तरन्ति तरसा त्वयि तृप्ततृष्णा रागे कृते हृतपथे त्वयि रामकृष्णे मत्यामृतं तव पदं मरणोर्मिनाशम् तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो कृत्यं करोति कलुषं कुहकान्तकारी स्नान्तं शिवं सुविमलं तव नाम नाथ यस्मादहं त्वशरणो जगदेकगम्या तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्म स्वरूपिणे अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः सर्वमङ्गल माङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते सृष्टि स्थितिविनाशाना शक्ति भूते सनातनी गुणाश्रये गुणामये नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते शरणागत दीनार्ता परित्राण परायणे सर्वस्यार्थे हरे देवी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते जय नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते जय नारायणी नारायणी नमोस्तुते जय नारायणी नमोस्तुते जय नारायणी नमोस्तुते।
प्रकृतिं परमाम् अभयां वरदां नररूपधरां जनतापहरां शरणागतसेवनतोषकरीं प्रणमामि पदां जननीं जगतां गुणहीनसुताम् अपराधयुतां कृपयाद्य समुद्धरमोहगतां तरणीं भवसागरमार्गरीं प्रणमामि पदां विषयं कुसुमं परिहृत्य सदा चरणाम्बुरुहां शान्तिसुधां विवभृतमनो भवनुदहरां प्रणमामि तदा जननीं जगतां कृपां कुरु महादेवी सुतेषु प्रणतेषु च चरणाश्रयदानेन कृपामये नमोऽस्तु ते लज्जापटावृते नित्यं शारदे ज्ञानदायिके पापेभ्यो नः सदा रक्ष कृपामये नमोऽस्तु ते रामकृष्णगतप्राणा तन्नाम श्रवणप्रिया तद्भावरञ्जिताकारा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः पवित्रं चरितं यस्याः पवित्रं जीवनं तथा पवित्रता स्वरूपिण्यै तस्यै कुर्मो नमो नमः। देवीं प्रसन्नां प्रणतातिमन्त्रीं योगेन्द्रपूज्यां युगधर्मपात्रीं तां शारदां भक्तिविज्ञानदात्रीं दयास्वरूपां प्रणमामि नित्यं। स्नेहेन बध्नासि मनोस्मदीयं दोषानशेषान् सगुणीकरोषि आहेतुनानोदयसे सदोषान् स्वाङ्के गृहीत्वा यदिदं विचित्रं प्रसीद मातर्विनयेन याचे सम्पूर्ण सुशान्तम् जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोः श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः।
Bhajanmala Part 1 Page 266 266 రామకృష్ణనేవనంత జ్యోతివి వెలిగెను నిన్ను చెన్నో జ్యోతు రామకృష్ణనేవనంత జ్యోతివి వెలిగెను నిన్ను చెన్నో జ్యోతు ఘోరమైన తమ సంతరించెను ఘోరమైన తమ సంతరించెను జీవి జీవికి శాంతి దొరికెరా ఘోరమైన తమ సంతరించెను జీవి జీవికి శాంతి దొరికెరా జీవి జీవికి శాంతి దొరికెరా రామకృష్ణని అనంత జ్యోతి వెలుగెను నేను చెన్నో జ్యోతులు రామ భగవన్నామ సంకీర్తనమే భగవన్నామ సంకీర్తనమే ఈ కలియుగమున ముక్తికి మార్గము భగవన్నామ సంకీర్తనమే ఈ కలియుగమున ముక్తికి మార్గం సత్సాంగత్యము మహిమాన్వితము సత్సాంగత్యము మహిమాన్వితము మానవాళికి పరమశ్రేయము సత్సాంగత్యము మహిమాన్వితము మానవాళికి పరమశ్రేయము రామకృష్ణని అనంత జ్యోతి వెలుగెను నేను చెన్నో జ్యోతులు రామకృష్ణని కృపా దృష్టితో రామకృష్ణని కృపా దృష్టితో మోహమ క్షణమాత్రములో రామకృష్ణని కృపాదృష్టితో మోహము వీడును క్షణమాత్రములో రామకృష్ణని దివ్య స్పర్శతో రామకృష్ణని దివ్య స్పర్శతో పాపములన్నీయు సమసిపోవును రామకృష్ణుని దివ్య స్పర్శతో పాపములన్నీ సమసిపోవును రామకృష్ణని అనంత జ్యోతివి వెలుగెను నిన్ను చెన్నో జ్యోతులు నీ రూపమును ధ్యానించిన చోని రూపమును ధ్యానించిన చో మనసు నిందును ఆనందముతో నీ రూపమును ధ్యానించిన చో మనసు నిందును ఆనందముతో నీ నామము స్మరించినచో నీ నామమును స్మరించినచో నీ నామమును స్మరించినచో నీ నామమును స్మరించినచో కష్టములన్నీ తొలగిపోవును నీ నామమును స్మరించినచో కష్టములన్నీ తొలగిపోవును రామకృష్ణ నీవనంత జ్యోతివి వెలుగెను నిన్ను చెన్నో జ్యోతులు రామకృష్ణ నీవనంత జ్యోతివి వెలుగెను నిన్ను చెన్నో జ్యోతులు ఘోరమైన తమ సంతరించెను ఘోరమైన తమ సంతరించెను జీవి జీవికి శాంతి దొరికెరా ఘోరమైన తమ సంతరించెను జీవి జీవికి శాంతి దొరికెరా జీవి జీవికి శాంతి దొరికెరా రామకృష్ణ నీవనంత జ్యోతి రామకృష్ణ నీవనంత జ్యోతివి రామకృష్ణ నీవనంత జ్యోతివి వెలుగెను నిన్ను చెన్నో జ్యోతులు. త్రీ 06 306 పిలువరా నోరారా శారదమ్మను పిలువరా నోరారా శారదమ్మను కొలువరా మనసారా శారదమ్మను కొలువరా మనసారా శారదమ్మను పిలువరా నోరారా శారదమ్మను పిలువరా నోరారా శారదమ్మను కొలువరా మనసారా శారదమ్మను కొలువరా మనసారా శారదమ్మను అతి మధురమైన అమ్మ నామమెందు దొరుకురా అతి మధురమైన అమ్మ నామ ఎందు దొరుకురా సాటి లేని ఆ ప్రేమకు మేటి ఎదిరా అతి మధురమైన అమ్మ నామ ఎందు దొరుకురా పిలువరా నోరారా శారదం మను పిలువరా నోరారా శారదం మను కొలువరా మనసార శారదం మను
కొలువరా మనసార శారదం మను
పరమ గురువు జగత గురువు శారదం మరా
పరమ గురువు జగద్గురువు
భక్తి భక్తి ముక్తి నిచ్చు ప్రేమ మూర్తిరా పరమ గురువు జగద్గురువు శారదం మరా భక్తి భక్తి ముక్తి నిచ్చు ప్రేమ మూర్తిరా పిలువరా నోరారా శారదం మను
పిలువరా నోరారా శారదం మను
కొలువరా మనసార శారదం మను
కొలువరా మనసార శారదం మను
కామ క్రోధ లోభాదులు పారిపోగురా
కామ క్రోధ లోభాదులు పారిపోవురా
శారదమ్మ దివ్య నామ స్మరణ చేయరా కామ క్రోధ లోభాదులు పారిపోగురా శారదమ్మ దివ్య నామ స్మరణ చేయరా పిలువరా నోరా శారదం మను
పిలువరా నోరారా శారదం మను
కొలువరా మనసార శారదం మను
కొలువరా మనసార శారదం మను
తల్లి తండ్రి దైవమంత శారదం మరా
తల్లి తండ్రి దైవమంత శారదం మరా
మన కోసమ వెలసింది మరువకండిరా తల్లి తండ్రి దైవమంత శారదం మరా మన కోసమ వెలసింది మరువకండిరా పిలువరా నోరారా శారదం మను
పిలువరా నోరారా శారదం మను
కొలువరా మనసార శారదం మను
కొలువరా మనసార శారదం మను
శారదమ్మ పాదములను విడువకండిరా
శారదమ్మ పాదములను విడువకండిరా
హృదయములో పదిల పరచి పూజ చేయరా శారదమ్మ పాదములను విడువకండిరా హృదయములో పదిల పరచి పూజ చేయరా పిలువరా నోరారా శారదం మను పిలువరా నోరారా శారదం మను కొలువరా మనసార శారదం మను కొలువరా మనసార శారదం మను పిలువరా నోరారా శారదం మను పిలువరా నోరారా శారదం మను పిలువరా నోరారా శారదం మను పిలువరా నోరారా శారదం మను కొలువరా మనసారా శారదం మను పేజ్ 57 5-7 పార్ట్ 1 সকলে তোমারো ইচ্ছা ইচ্ছাময়ী তারা তুমি, তোমার কর্ম তুমি করো মা। লোকে বলে করি আমি, সকলে তোমার ইচ্ছা, ইচ্ছাময়ী তারা তুমি, তোমার কর্ম তুমি করো মা। লোকে বলে করি আমি, সকলে তোমার ইচ্ছা। পঙ্কে বদ্ধ করো করি, পঙ্গুরে লঙ্ঘা গিরে। পঙ্কে বদ্ধ করো করি, পঙ্গুরে লঙ্ঘা গিরে। কারে দাও মা ব্রহ্মপদ, কারে কর অধগান। কারে দাও মা ব্রহ্মপদ, কারে কর অধগান। সকলে তোমার ইচ্ছা, ইচ্ছাময়ী তারা তুমি, তোমার কর্ম তুমি করো মা। লোকে বলে করি আমি, সকলে তোমার ইচ্ছা। আমি যন্ত্র তুমি যন্ত্রী, আমি ঘর তুমি ঘরণী। আমি যন্ত্র তুমি যন্ত্রী, আমি ঘর তুমি ঘরণী। আমি রথ তুমি রথী, যেমনি চালাও তেমনি চল। আমি রথ তুমি রথী, যেমনি চালাও তেমনি চল। সকলে তোমার ইচ্ছা, ইচ্ছাময়ী তারা তুমি, তোমার কর্ম তুমি করো মা। লোকে বলে করি আমি, সকলে তোমার ইচ্ছা। আমি যন্ত্র তুমি যন্ত্রী, আমি ঘর তুমি ঘরণী। আমি যন্ত্র তুমি যন্ত্রী, আমি ঘর তুমি ঘরণী। আমি রথ তুমি রথী, যেমনি চালাও তেমনি চল। আমি রথ তুমি রথী, যেমন চালাও তেমনি চল। সকলে তোমার ইচ্ছা, সকলে তোমার ইচ্ছা, সকলে তোমার ইচ্ছা। ইচ্ছাময়ী তারা তুমি, భజన్మాల పార్ట్ 2 పేజ్ 136 136 136. ভাং খেয়ে বিভোর ভোলানাথ ভূতগণ সঙ্গে নাচিছে। ভাং খেয়ে বিভোর ভোলানাথ ভূতগণ সঙ্গে নাচিছে। সদা কালী 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 বলে মধুর ঢমর বাজিছে। সদা কালী 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 বলে মধুর ঢমর বাজিছে। ভাঙে বিভোর ভোলানাথ ভূতগণ সঙ্গে নাচিছে। ভাঙে বিভোর ভোলানাথ ভূতগণ সঙ্গে নাচিছে। শিরেতে শোভিছে জটা জুটো ফেনি, ললাটে শোভিছে দেবী মন্দাকিনী। শিরেতে শোভিছে জটা জুটো ফণি, ললাটে শোভিছে দেবী মন্দাকিনী। চরণ প্লাবিয়া ভূদর ধরণী কুল কুল ধ্বনি করিছে। চরণ প্লাবিয়া ভূদর ধরণী কুল কুল ধ্বনি করিছে। ভাঙে বিভোর ভোলানাথ ভূতগণ সঙ্গে নাচিছে। ভাঙে বিভোর ভোলানাথ ভূতগণ সঙ্গে নাচিছে। বামেতে শোভিছে ভুবন মাতা, কি কব রূপ কি কব কথা। বামেতে শোভিছে ভুবন মাতা, কি কব রূপ কি কব কথা। চারিপাশে হেমলতা তরিত জড়িত রয়েছে। চারিপাশে হেমলতা তরিত জড়িত রয়েছে। ভাঙে বিভোর ভোলানাথ ভূতগণ সঙ্গে নাচিছে। ভাঙে বিভোর ভোলানাথ ভূতগণ সঙ্গে নাচিছে। কর্ণেতে শোভিছে ধুতুরার ফুল, ধুতুরা পানে আখি ঢুলু ঢুলু। কর্ণেতে শোভিছে ধুতুরার ফুল, ধুতুরা পানে আখি ঢুলু ঢুল। কালী ধ্যানে ব্যাঘ্র চর্ম খুশিয়া খুশিয়া পরিছে। কালী ধ্যানে ব্যাঘ্র চর্ম খুশিয়া খুশিয়া পরিছে। ভাঙে বিভোর ভোলানাথ ভূতগণ সঙ্গে নাচিছে। ভাঙে বিভোর ভোলানাথ ভূতগণ সঙ্গে নাচিছে। কালী 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 বলে মধুর ডমর বাজিছে। সদা কালী 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 বলে মধুর ডমর বাজিছে। ভাঙে বিভোর ভোলানাথ ভাঙে বিভোর ভোলানাথ ভাঙে বিভোর ভোলানাথ। ভূতগণ সঙ্গে নাচিছে।
భజనమాల పార్ట్ 1 పేజ్ 137 137. పేజ్ 138 138.
भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरे, 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 भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरे। जब तपसा धना कछु नहीं लागत, 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 खर्चत नहीं गठरी, भजो रे भैया खर्चत नहीं गठरी, भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरे, भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरे, भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरे, भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरे। भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरे।
పేజ్ 166 166.
ठुमक ठुम पवन कुंज मग चपल चरण हरि आए। ओह चपल चरण हरि आए। ओ चपल चरण हरि आए। ओ चपल चरण हरि आए। ठुमक ठुमक पग कुमक कुंज मग चपल चरण हरि आए। ओ चपल चरण हरि आए। चपल चरण हरि आए। मेरे प्राण भुलावन आए। मेरे नयन लुभावन आए। मेरे प्राण भुलावन आए। मेरे नयन लुभावन आए। ओ चपल चरण हरि आए। ओ चपल चरण हरि आए। निमिख झिमिख झिम निमिख झिमिख झिम नर्तन पद व्रज आए। ओह नर्तन पद व्रज आए। ओ नर्तन पद व्रज आए। ओ नर्तन पद व्रज आए। निमिख झिमिख झिम निमिख झिमिख झिम नर्तन पद व्रज आए। ओ नर्तन पद व्रज आए। ओ नर्तन पद व्रज आए। मेरे प्राण भुलावन आए। मेरे नयन लुभावन आए। मेरे प्राण भुलावन आए। मेरे नयन लुभावन आए। ओ चपल चरण हरि आए। ओ चपल चरण हरि आए। ओ चपल चरण हरि आए। अमल कमल कर मुरली मधुर धर बंसी बजावन आए। ओ बंसी बजावन आए। ओ बंसी बजावन आए। ओ बंसी बजावन आए। अमल कमल कर मुरली मधुर धर बंसी बजावन आए। ओ चपल चरण हरि आए। ठुमक ठुमक पग ठुमक कुंज मग चपल चरण हरि आए। ओ 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 चपल चरण हरि आए।
పేజ్ 216 216. पाहि राम पाहि कृष्ण राम कृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा। पाहि
राम पाहि कृष्ण राम कृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा।
पाहि राम पाहि राम कृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा। पाहि राम पाहि
राम कृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा।
नीदु दिव्य चरणमुले नम्मिति मय्या। नीदु दिव्य चरणमुले नम्मिति मय्या। करुणिंचि कापाडु काळिपुत्र। नीदु दिव्य
चरणमुले नम्मिति मय्या। करुणिंचि कापाडु कालिपुत्र।
राम पाहि कृष्ण राम कृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा।
पाहि राम पाहि कृष्ण राम कृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा।
वेद वेदांत रूप रामकृष्ण। वेद वेदांत रूप
रामकृष्ण
प्रेम रूप प्रेमानंद परमहंसा। वेद वेदांत
रूप रामकृष्ण प्रेम रूप प्रेमानंद परमहंसा।
पाहि राम पाहि कृष्ण राम कृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा।
पाहि राम पाहि कृष्ण राम कृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा।
सर्वदेव देवी रूप रामकृष्ण। सर्वदेव
देवी रूप रामकृष्ण
सर्वमत समन्वय परमहंसा। सर्वदेव देवी रूप
रामकृष्ण सर्वमत समन्वय परमहंसा।
पाहि राम पाहि कृष्ण रामकृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा।
पाहि राम पाहि कृष्ण रामकृष्ण पाहि
चन्द्रमणि क्षुदिराम दिव्यपुत्रा चन्द्रमणि
क्षुदिराम दिव्यपुत्रा
करुणिंचि मम्मेलु दीनमन्दारा
चन्द्रमणि क्षुदिराम दिव्यपुत्रा करुणिंचि मम्मेलु दीनमन्दारा
पाहि राम पाहि कृष्ण रामकृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा
पाहि राम पाहि कृष्ण रामकृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा
पाहि राम पाहि कृष्ण रामकृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा
पाहि राम पाहि कृष्ण
रामकृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा पाहि राम पाहि कृष्ण रामकृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा
पाहि राम पाहि कृष्ण रामकृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा
पाहि राम पाहि कृष्ण रामकृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा
पाहि राम पाहि कृष्ण रामकृष्ण पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा
पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा
पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा
पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा पाहि मां दयानिधे परमहंसा
ఫ్యూ అనౌన్స్మెంట్స్. ప్రతి సోమ బుధ శుక్రవారాల్లో సాయంత్రం 6 గంటల నుండి 6 గంటల 40 నిమిషాల వరకు స్వామి రంగనాథానంద స్వాధ్యాయ సేవా వేదిక కార్యక్రమం దేవాలయం దిగువ హాల్లో నిర్వహించబడుతుంది. ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో ప్రతి సోమ శుక్రవారాల్లో వేద పారాయణము, భజనలు, ధ్యాన అధ్యయన తరగతులు, ప్రతి బుధవారము విష్ణు సహస్రనామ పారాయణ నిర్వహించబడతాయి. వచ్చే ఆదివారం ఆగస్టు 9వ తేదీ ఏకాదశి పర్వదినం ఆరాత్రికం అనంతరం రామనామ సంకీర్తన నిర్వహించబడుతుంది. ఆగస్టు 10వ తేదీ సోమవారం భగవాన్ శ్రీరామకృష్ణుల ప్రత్యక్ష సన్యాస శిష్యులు స్వామి రామకృష్ణానంద మహారాజ్ జయంతి. ఈ సందర్భంగా ఆ రోజు సాయంత్రం ఆరాత్రికం అనంతరం స్వామి రామకృష్ణానంద మహారాజ్ జీవితం సందేశంపై ప్రత్యేక ప్రసంగం నిర్వహించబడుతుంది. భక్తులందరూ ఈ కార్యక్రమాలన్నింటిలో ఎక్కువ సంఖ్యలో పాల్గొని ముత్తిత్రేయ కృపకు పాత్రలు కావాల్సిందిగా విజ్ఞప్తి. ఎవ్రీ మండే, వెన్స్డే, ఫ్రైడే Swamy Ranganathananda Swadhyaya Seva Vedika program will be conducted between 6 p.m. to 6:40 p.m. in the temple basement hall. This program consists of Vedic chanting, bhajans, meditation and study classes on every Monday and Friday. Vishnu Sahasranama Parayana will be conducted on Wednesday. English discourse on Upanishad will be conducted on coming Sunday, 9th August at 5:45 p.m. in the temple basement hall. Coming Sunday, 9th August is also Ekadashi. Ramnam Sankirtan will be conducted after Aratrikam. 10th August, Monday, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's direct monastic disciple, Swamy Ramakrishnananda Maharaj Jayanti. On this occasion, special discourse on the life and teachings of Swamy Ramakrishnananda Maharaj will be conducted after Aratrikam. All the devotees can participate in all these programs and obtain the grace of Holy Trio. మూర్తిత్రయానికి జయ జయధ్వానాలు చెప్పిన తర్వాత భక్తులందరూ ప్రసాదం స్వీకరించవలసిందిగా విజ్ఞప్తి.
जय भगवान श्री रामकृष्ण देव की
जय।
जय श्री शारदा माई की
जय।
जय स्वामी विवेकानंद महाराज जी की
जय।